welcome back to Oh My English. I'm Lily.
And I'm Tommy. Hi, everyone.
So, before we start, Tommy, be honest. Is there something you've been meaning to do for a while and just haven't?
Oh, right now today?
Right now.
Okay. I keep meaning to wake up earlier. Every night I say tomorrow I'm going to be up at 6. And then 6 comes and I just don't.
You don't.
I really don't.
That's exactly what today is about. And I have my own version of that story too, trust me.
Okay, but wait, before we get into it, did you talk to Claire this week?
Oh, she sent me a full schedule for next month, like a calendar invite for a family dinner,
A calendar invite.
with a reminder, 2 reminders.
Your sister is a different kind of person.
She really is. But honestly, she never has to try to be organized. It just comes naturally to her. Meanwhile, I have 17 reminders on my phone, and I still forget things.
See, that's the thing. Some habits feel easy for some people and impossible for others. Like Dan, my brother, he just wakes up early, every day, no effort. And I'm over here setting 4 alarms and ignoring all of them.
Dan in London.
Dan in London, 6 in the morning, already at the gym, sends me a selfie sometimes. Very motivating, very annoying.
Okay, that is annoying.
It is, but it makes me think, is it a habit thing or just a personality thing?
That's actually a great question, and we're going to get into that.
So what are we doing today exactly?
Okay, so today we're not going to talk about habits. We're going to have a real conversation. Tommy and I are going to share habits we've actually tried to change, things that worked, things that didn't, and what that feels like in English.
And you said in English, so this is going to be real vocabulary, like how people actually talk about this stuff.
Real vocabulary, natural expressions, the kind of language you'd use with a friend. And then, later in the episode, we're going to do something special. We're going to go back and listen to our own conversation again.
Wait, listen again?
With better ears. After we break everything down, the words, the sounds, what was really going on, you listen again and you hear it completely differently.
Oh, that's actually clever.
That's the plan. So if you're A2 or B1, this episode is built for you. Stay with us.
Okay, but before we jump in, Lily, we should probably say something.
We should. If this kind of content helps you, real conversations, natural English, things you can actually use, the best thing you can do right now is subscribe. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and it helps us make more of this.
And if you're already subscribed, thank you. Seriously, leave a like, share this with someone who's been meaning to practice their English, but hasn't yet.
We see them.
We see you. Okay, now let's go.
Okay, so I want to start with something that actually happened to me, because it's a little embarrassing, but also very real.
I love embarrassing.
So last year, I decided I was going to cut back on coffee. I was drinking like 4 cups a day, and I kept telling myself, okay, this week, I'll drop to 2, just 2 cups, easy.
4 to 2, that's ambitious.
Right. And the first 2 days, perfect. I felt great. I was like, I've got this, I'm a new person.
And then?
Day 3, I woke up with a headache, I was exhausted, and by 9 in the morning, I had already made a full pot.
So you gave up.
I didn't give up. I paused.
You gave up.
I slipped up, okay? There's a difference. I slipped up, and then I tried again the next week. But this time, I cut back slowly, 1 cup less every few days instead of all at once.
And that worked?
That worked. It took about a month, but I'm at 2 cups now, sometimes 1.
Okay, that's actually impressive. Because I know you. You love coffee.
I do love coffee, but I love sleeping more.
Okay, so slipped up. What does that mean exactly? You said you slipped up.
It means you made a mistake after you were doing well, like you were on track and then something went wrong. It's not a total failure, it's a moment. I slipped up and had 4 cups. I slipped up and skipped the gym.
Okay, I've slipped up many times.
We all have. That's the point. What about you? what's a habit you've tried to change?
Okay. Mine is less dramatic, but I think a lot of people will relate. I kept meaning to practice guitar every day. Like, I teach guitar. I love guitar. This should be easy, right?
You'd think.
But I'd get home after lessons, I'd be tired, and I'd tell myself, I'll do it later. And later never came. I'd just fall back into the same pattern.
Fall back into the same pattern. I like that.
Yeah, like the pattern was waiting for you. You tried to leave and it just pulled you back in.
That's a really good way to put it. Did you ever manage to change it?
Sort of. I stopped trying to do a full practice session and just told myself, pick up the guitar for 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes.
And 5 minutes turned into more?
Usually, yeah. Sometimes it was actually just 5 minutes, but even 5 minutes felt better than nothing. The hardest part was just getting started.
There's something called the 2-minute rule. The idea that if a habit feels too big, you make it so small it's almost impossible to say no.
That's exactly what happened. I didn't commit to practicing, I committed to picking up the guitar.
And that's a real difference, because when you commit to something huge, your brain goes, nope, not today. But something small, you can always do something small.
I wish someone had told me this earlier. I spent a long time feeling guilty about not practicing enough instead of just doing 5 minutes.
That guilt is so common, and it actually makes it harder to start.
Right. You feel bad, so you avoid it, so you feel worse.
It's a cycle, and the way to break the cycle, at least for me, is to make the first step so easy it doesn't feel like a step at all.
Okay, so what's a habit that didn't work? Like when you tried to change and just couldn't?
Reading before bed. I kept trying to build that habit. Put a book on the nightstand, everything. And every night I'd pick up my phone instead.
Same.
And I tried everything, leaving my phone in another room, setting a reminder, telling myself tonight is the night, but I just couldn't make it stick.
Make it stick.
Yeah, like some habits stick and some don't. And sometimes the timing is wrong, or the habit doesn't fit your actual life.
Maybe reading before bed just isn't your thing.
Maybe. I read in the morning now, 10 minutes with coffee. That one stuck.
Because it fits.
Because it fits. The habit has to fit the person. You can't just copy what works for someone else.
Like Dan and his 6 a.m. gym sessions.
Exactly. That works for Dan. It does not work for me.
Or me. Very much not for me.
And that's okay. The goal isn't to have the perfect routine. The goal is to find what you can actually keep doing.
What you can keep doing. I like that. Not what sounds good, what actually works.
For you, in your real life with your real schedule and your real energy.
Okay, I feel seen right now.
Good.
Okay, we need to pause for a second.
We do. If you've made it this far, you're clearly someone who's serious about improving your English. So, drop a comment right now with one word: change. Just that word. It tells us you're here and it helps the channel more than you know.
And while you're down there, subscribe if you haven't yet, and like the video. It genuinely makes a difference.
One more thing. We want to know, what's a habit you've been trying to change? Tell us in the comments. You might be surprised how many people feel the same way.
Okay, back to it.
All right, so let's step back for a second and look at what just happened in that conversation.
Okay, so we both talked about habits we tried to change. I talked about guitar practice, you talked about coffee and reading before bed.
And what was the main feeling running through all of it?
Like, the gap between what you want to do and what you actually do.
Exactly, that tension. You want to change, you try to change, and then something gets in the way. Tiredness, distraction, the habit being too big. And that's very human, and it's very real. And now we're going to look at how we said all of that.
Okay, layer 2, how it was said.
Yes. So there were a few moments in the conversation where the English got a little fast or a little connected. Let's look at those.
The first one, you said, I'll do it later, but in the conversation it sounded more like, I'll do it later, kind of blended together.
Right. I'll, that's I will, compressed. And in fast speech, I'll do it later becomes almost one thought. I'll do it later. The words connect.
And the other one, you'd think. You said that when I was talking about practicing guitar. You'd think. What's happening there?
You'd is you would, and you'd think it means you would expect this to be true, but it's not. It's a soft way of saying something didn't go the way it should have. You teach guitar, you'd think practicing every day would be easy, but it wasn't.
Oh, so you'd think carries a little irony.
A little, yes. It's acknowledging the gap between what makes sense and what actually happens.
I've heard native speakers say that a lot, and I never quite understood why.
Now you do. Okay, layer 3. What was behind some of the expressions we used?
I want to go back to slip up, because you said I slipped up, and I kind of tried to understand it from context, but what's really in that phrase?
Slip up is interesting because a slip is a small accident, not a fall, not a crash, a slip. So when you slip up, you made a mistake, but it's not a disaster. It keeps the tone light. Compare I failed versus I slipped up. I failed feels heavy. I slipped up feels honest but recoverable.
So it's almost kinder to yourself.
Exactly. It's the language of someone who's still trying, not someone who gave up.
And make it stick. I use that too, or you did.
I used it about reading before bed. I couldn't make it stick. And the image there is really physical, like something that should stay in place but keeps falling off. A habit that sticks is one that becomes automatic, that stays without effort. One that doesn't stick, you have to keep forcing it, and eventually you stop.
So, make it stick is about whether a habit becomes natural or stays like work.
That's it. And you can feel it when something doesn't stick. It always feels like effort. It never gets easier.
I know that feeling very well.
Okay, now we're going to do something a little different.
The replay.
The replay. We're going to go back and listen to part of that conversation again. The part where I talked about cutting back on coffee and you talked about guitar practice.
And this time, what should people listen for?
2 things. First, listen for the expressions we just analyzed. Slipped up, fall back into, make it stick, you'd think. Hear them in context now that you know what they carry.
And second,
Listen to the rhythm, how we move between one point and the next, how the conversation doesn't feel like a lesson, it feels like 2 people thinking out loud together. That rhythm is something you can borrow.
okay, let's go back.
Replay. So last year, I decided I was going to cut back on coffee. I was drinking like 4 cups a day, and I kept telling myself, okay, this week I'll drop to 2. Just 2 cups, easy.
4 to 2, that's ambitious.
Right, and the first 2 days, perfect. I felt great. I was like, I've got this. I'm a new person.
And then?
Day 3, I woke up with a headache, I was exhausted, and by 9 in the morning, I had already made a full pot.
So you gave up.
I didn't give up, I paused.
You gave up.
I slipped up, okay? There's a difference. I slipped up and then I tried again the next week, but this time I cut back slowly, 1 cup less a few days at a time instead of all at once.
And that worked?
That worked. It took about a month, but I'm at 2 cups now, sometimes 1.
Okay, but I kept meaning to practice guitar every day. I teach guitar, I love guitar. This should be easy, right?
You'd think.
But I'd get home after lessons, I'd be tired, and I'd tell myself, I'll do it later. And later never came. I'd just fall back into the same pattern. Watch something, go to bed, wake up feeling bad about it.
Did you ever manage to change it?
Sort of. I stopped trying to do a full practice session and just told myself, pick up the guitar for 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes.
And 5 minutes turned into more?
Usually, yeah. The hardest part was just getting started.
End of replay. Okay, what did you notice this time?
Honestly, the expressions feel natural now. Like, fall back into the same pattern. Before, I just heard a sentence. Now I heard the meaning behind it.
That's the whole point of the replay. The first time you're absorbing, the second time you're understanding.
And the rhythm thing, I noticed we don't speak in long turns. It's short, back and forth, very fast sometimes.
That's real conversation, and that's what makes it feel alive.
All right, word tour time. We're going to go through the key expressions from today one by one.
Let's do it.
First one, cut back on.
Cut back on coffee. Cut back on sugar.
Exactly. Cut back on means to reduce. Not stop completely, just do less. I'm trying to cut back on screen time before bed. She cut back on takeout to save money. It's a gentle reduction, not a full stop.
Cut back on. Got it.
Slip up.
You slipped up with the coffee.
I did, and anyone who's tried to change a habit has slipped up. He was eating healthy for 2 weeks and then slipped up at a birthday party. I slipped up and skipped 3 days at the gym. The key feeling, it's a mistake, but not the end.
Slip up. I'll remember that one.
Good. Next, fall back into.
Fall back into the same pattern.
Yes. Fall back into means to return to an old habit, usually without wanting to. It has a passive feeling, like you didn't choose it, it just happened. After a few weeks, she fell back into staying up late. He fell back into checking his phone every 5 minutes.
The pattern was just waiting.
It always is.
Okay, keep meaning to.
Oh, this one. I keep meaning to wake up early.
You do.
Keep meaning to is for things you intend to do but never actually do. There's a small guilt in it. I keep meaning to call my grandmother. She keeps meaning to learn how to cook.
It's very honest.
It is. It's not I will, it's I want to but somehow never do.
Next one.
Make it stick.
The reading habit didn't stick.
Right. Make it stick means to make a habit permanent, automatic, natural, not forced. He tried the early morning routine but couldn't make it stick. Some habits stick immediately. Others take months.
And you feel it when it doesn't stick.
You feel it every single time. Okay, get started.
The hardest part was just getting started.
Get started is simple but important. It's not just start. Get started implies there was some resistance first. I know I should exercise, but I can't get started. Once she got started, she didn't stop.
Getting started is the real challenge.
Always. Next, I've got this.
Oh, you said that when the coffee plan was going well. I've got this.
Yes. I've got this means I can handle it. I'm in control. It's confident, a little self-encouraging. She was nervous before the presentation, but told herself, I've got this. He looked at the test and thought, I've got this.
I've got this. I like that one. I'm going to use that.
Use it. Last one. Break the cycle.
You said the guilt makes it harder to start, and the way to break the cycle is to make the first step easy.
Right. A cycle is something that keeps repeating, and break the cycle means to stop the repetition. She wanted to break the cycle of procrastinating every Sunday. He finally broke the cycle by asking for help.
Break the cycle. That feels powerful.
It is, because cycles feel very hard to escape, but they're not impossible.
Okay, that was a good word tour.
I think so too.
Okay, bonus tip time.
Yes, and this one is simple, but it works. Pick one expression from today's word tour, just one. Could be slip up, could be I've got this, could be fall back into, whichever one felt most useful to you.
And then?
Say it out loud 5 times today, not in a practice session, in real moments. When something goes wrong at work, say to yourself, I slipped up. When you're about to start something difficult, say, I've got this. When you notice yourself returning to an old habit, say, I'm falling back into this.
So you're not just learning the word, you're attaching it to a real feeling.
That's how it sticks. The word has to mean something to you in your life, in your actual day. That's the difference between vocabulary you recognize and vocabulary you use.
One word, 5 times, real moments. I can do that.
Anyone can do that.
Okay, I have to say this one hit different.
Yeah?
Like, I came in thinking we were going to talk about English, and we did, but I also thought about a lot of real things I've been avoiding.
That's the point. The best English practice happens when the topic actually matters to you. And habits, trying to change, failing, trying again, that matters to everyone.
If you made it to the end of this episode, you listened to a long, real conversation in English. That is not nothing. That's a lot.
It really is. And here's our challenge for the comments. We want you to finish this sentence. Tell us in the comments, what's one habit you've been meaning to change? Start your answer with, I've been trying to.
For example, I've been trying to read more before bed, but I keep picking up my phone instead. Or, I've been trying to wake up earlier, but it never happens. Doesn't need to be perfect, just real.
Your English doesn't need to be perfect. Just write something. The practice is in doing it.
And if you enjoyed today, subscribe, leave a like, share with someone who needs a little push.
Thank you so much for being here, really.
See you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Seriously, be kind to yourselves out there.
Bye.